Welcome to your Season 24 Blaseball weather update. This is the Earlseason forecast. Warning: this video contains forbidden knowledge. Stop watching now if you do not wish to access hidden information. This video would not have been possible without the work of the Society for Internet Blaseball Research. If I thought the last season made the forecast redundant, I should have known better and held my tongue. 80% of the weather in the Earlseason will be Jazz. Seattle and Houston will host the most Jazz. That's all I've got to say. The Lift get 2 night games and 23 Jazz games. The Fridays can use birdhouses once before playing 25 Jazz games. The Mechanics get 5 whole chances to use Sweetener, along with 20 Jazz games. The Garages can use Sweetener 4 times and play in Jazz 21 times. The Lovers play 1 Coffee Twos game at home and then 24 Jazz games. The Tacos have 1 confirmed Sun 2 game for their modifications, but then they have 20 Jazz games, so who really knows? The Magic are able to use solar panels once and are gifted 2 night games, before having 19 Jazz games inflicted on them. The Sunbeams get 1 Sun 2 game, 1 Salmon game, and 23 Jazz games. The Jazz Hands get 2 games to use Sweetener and are granted 2 Sun 2 games. Good news, their most common weather is finally Jazz. The Stakes have 1 Sweetener game and are granted 1 Blood Rain game, before 24 Jazz games. The Spies have the power of increases with 1 Solar Eclipse game and 3 Glitter games mixed into their 22 Jazz games. The Wild Wings play 6 home games. 1 of these is Sun 2, 1 is Birds, the rest are Jazz. Shockingly, the Breath Mints get 3 chances to use Psychoacoustics and Echo Chamber. They also get 22 Jazz games. The Firefighters get 3 chances to use Sweetener and play the lowest number of Jazz games with just 17. The Worms get 1 Black Hole and also 25 Jazz games. The Moist Talkers will be glad of their 4 flooding games in which they can check out their new modification. However, they also have 20 Jazz games. The Flowers are granted 1 night game and 24 Jazz games. The Millennials have 2 games in which to use Sweetener and 23 games in which Jazz occurs. The Pies can welcome Birds home twice and play Jazz 23 times. The Crabs are granted 1 Black Hole and 2 Blood Rain games, on top of 20 Jazz games. The Shoe Thieves increases grant them 1 game each of Coffee and Night, and then they have 24 games of Jazz. The Georges may not be able to use any of their renovations, but with 21 Jazz games, that could all change. The Dallé do well, with 6 games to use Sweetener and getting 1 night game, alongside their 19 Jazz games. The Tigers get 4 Blood Rain games, 1 Salmon game, and 3 night games. They sprinkle in 18 Jazz games amongst that. Thanks for tuning into the weather. I'll be back with the mid-season forecast tomorrow. But until then, rejoice, play ball, and don't get incinerated.